Hello, hello, everyone, and I'm so glad to be back with you guys tonight. Beast Hope Mindsets is Wednesday night. We're gonna have a good time tonight. We're gonna sit back and chat it up. We have two awesome people that are gonna be on with us, and so tonight is a little different. It's Millennial Speaks, and we're gonna be chatting about different topics and just getting different perspectives. You know, we're all family, and we're all about positivity and motivation, and it comes in many different ways. So I'm glad to have the two individuals that are on with me tonight, and I'm going to introduce them in just a moment. But before we jump into everything, it's important that just on behalf of SIBN, who make sure this show happens every Wednesday night at 9, and make sure Ruck Life Broadcasting is on top of everything as well. We're going to take time and have a moment of silence on behalf of the evangelist, Billy Graham. And for those who don't know who Billy Graham is, he was an ordained Southern Baptist minister. He's a spiritual advisor to a lot of the presidents, all the way down to Barack Obama. And as of today, he's no longer with us here physically, but he's still here with us, spiritually. And so we're just going to take a moment just to pay our respects for everything that he's done and the lives that he saved and the work that he's done, not just in radio and broadcasting, but also, too, in the Christian community and being in such a positive position to advise and counsel our leadership for our country. So we'll just have a moment of silence. All right, and so we thank you guys for having that moment of silence with me. Just like I said, in respect to Evangelist William Graham, known as Billy Graham, a big pillar in the Christian community, especially in the Southern Baptist denomination. And so, we thank God for people like him and all ministers and all pastors and anyone that operates within that gift. It takes a lot, especially to go out there to reach and to teach others. So we're gonna dive on into things. We have two millennials with us tonight. We have the wonderful LaQuanda Roberts-Phillips. She's an awesome young lady, very involved in the church with many different things. I'm not going to do a big introduction because she's going to talk about herself a little bit, and I'll open it up for her. And then we also, too, have a dynamic young man by the name of Warren. I call him Warren. he's an awesome person. He's doing many different things. The sky's the limit for him, and the sky's the limit for LaQuanda as well. And so tonight, like I said, Beast Mode Mindsets, we're all about positivity, mindsets of faith, and we're just going to be chatting it up. It was just a positivity session of different topics and different things, and it's important that we highlight the things that are going on in the everyday world and understand that even though we are who we are, it's important for us to be in the world but not be of the world, as we are Christians and we're striving to live the right life. And so we're bringing that to the table and just being people that get up and go to work every single day and handle our families. There's a lot that comes with it. So Warren, I want to kickstart. I want to throw something at you right quick. So introduce yourself. Beast Mode Mindset family, like you got to let the people know who you are. Like you got to give us a little background into you right quick, and tell us something about you that makes you different, that makes you as a young male.
Okay. Well, in my introduction to Beast Mode Mindset, I feel like my value essentially lies and my personality. There's a lot of things that separates me from the average masses, all the way down. I would say, I mean, just down to just being an ordinary person, and that's just the fact of accepting God in your life as your light and your shining armor. That to me is one of the most. It's been a spiritual journey this past couple of months, even this past year. Just been through what I've been through, even up until today. I recently had a family member who passed away, my grandfather. Pay respect to Mr. James Williams. But other than that, just keeping, just always keeping a good level head on your shoulders, even whenever times are down and situations don't always seem like they're going to make it out and be a positive note. When you ever just take the time out and just sit and think about things and let God talk to you, you're actually able to find a silver lining out of everything that negative that comes your way. So to me, I feel like that is one essential thing that really separates me from a lot of people. Because consistently, I have to learn to remove my soul from this actual world and to take it to the heavens, take it to the kingdom, and to realize that, it's more than just the physical features. It's on a everyday spiritual battle. That's the definition of beast mode. Is to preserve and to prevail through all obstacles and still be able to, remain yourself. And, with all the times and the troubles and tribulations that's going on, just being able to remain yourself through it all is the true essence of who God is in you.
I think that's really awesome that you would share and say, and I like how you said that, and then how you define beast mode and how it means to you and applies to your life, and really that embodies everything that we here at Beast Mode as a family we represent and we love to talk about. So thank you for sharing with us. Also, too, you have the whole Beast Mode mindset family and listeners. I'm praying for you and your family. And the loss of your loved one, the loss of your grandfather. So the fact that you took time away from your family and your schedule tonight, we appreciate that 100%. And thank you for being on with us and for still just being so strong as you talk and speak, even just about the loss of your family member. So, LaQuanda, tell everybody a little bit about yourself. Like, share us, like, who's LaQuanda, who's Quanda? I call you Quanda sometimes, but who's Quanda?
Well, first and foremost, I'm married to my husband, Christopher. Shout out to him. And also, I am a mother of two boys, 1 6 and 1 3 months. So that's a big adjustment. One is in school and one is a newborn. But I'm also I'm a person that grew up in the church. I'm a youth advisor now, grew up in the youth choir, ushering on the junior usher board. I sing in, different choirs at church. I'm very active, very, very active in church. That's just something I always had a love for Christ, growing up and things like that. Oh my God. I would say that most of the time I am fun, loving, would give, what I can give. If I have to, I would give you the shirt off my back, type person. But, that's just something, I thank God, that's just something that God gave, instilling me to be a giver and not always be a receiver. So, and that's basically it.
That's basically it. Even you and Warren will be real modest tonight, and that's okay. Y'all talking about that's it or this is what it is, and that's fine. So, because I being really awesome and dynamic people. I know both of you guys somewhat personally, and you both possess really awesome qualities and awesome gifts, and it's important that I'm glad you guys get to meet each other on this platform tonight. Just another brother and sister in Christ that get to connect from different areas, but also, too, we get to listen in and share. And you both bring two different perspectives on the table. Quando, I understand what it's like being a mom. I'm a mom of three, so I get that. But I don't understand what it's like to be married and to be young and to be a mom and to wear so many of those hats. So hats off to you for those things that you do. And I do know that you're heavily involved in church, and you play a major role in many different areas, and some I've served with you in the past. And so it's good to call you family, and it's good to call you friend, and the same with Warren. Good to call you family, good to call you friend, as her brothers and sisters in Christ. So thank you guys for just sharing and the insight about who you are. And so we're gonna talk about a few different things. So we're gonna dig in. We're gonna go back and forth. I'm gonna give you a second to kind of go ahead and kind of give me your perspective on a few things. So like I said, tonight's Millennial Speaks, and Millennial Speaks is just us talking on different topics or certain things that are out there may have come to us, and some things that kind of stand out. And so one thing I was just in thinking, and I come across a lot of different things. So I know around last year, I know both of you guys are pretty familiar with actors and actresses in movies. So Denzel Washington actually had a post, and he posted about something, and basically what he did was he posted and encouraged other young people to be unashamed of their faith, even on social media. So, Quanda, like how is it being Christian, being mom, being wife, being all these things, and being young and being a millennial and so in tune with social media? Because I'm not mistaken, I know you have a Facebook page, and there's other pages that you may have for different things that you may do. But how do you feel when it comes to like posting about your faith, just growing up in church the way you have? Like, do you find yourself being kind of closed off with it? Do you post about it often, or how do you post, or what's your perception about this?
To me, I don't think you should be ashamed of God and who you believe in. You know, that's just something about if you truly have the love and passion of Christ, and truly, love what you're doing as a person. Me, I love what I do for Christ. I always, I just don't do stuff just to be doing it. Like, I really put my heart and soul into it. So it's really no problem for me to post a gospel song or Christian rap, or just any post that, might say something about, Jesus, because that's what I believe in, who I believe in, and I wholeheartedly know for a fact that without him I would be nothing. So it's funny because you don't see many people posting about God unless they're going through stuff. It's not a lot of younger people posting about, about God, and I think a lot of that tends to sometimes have to do with the way that upbringing in the church, because, a lot of churches are losing their millennials, that in between. You might see a lot of real young youth, and then you might see a lot of older people, but you kind of losing, your millennials, the ones that's in between, that's bridging the gap. So, but for me, it's really not a problem. I'll post more about Jesus than I'll probably post about anything else, to be honest with you. Between Jesus and my kids, that's what I will post about. But that's no problem. And, it's sad to see a lot of social media is not really pushing Christ. You'll see most of the time people shaking their butts, or, people talking crazy that shouldn't be said, stuff like that, cursing, all that fight of kids fighting. You'll see that more before somebody talk about God, and that's really sad. Unless, it comes to a time that they need God, and then that's when you hear about people talking about God.
Yeah, I can completely just pick up back off what you said. Like, I can completely agree. It's very easy to tune into social media and see so many things, and I think it's powerful that someone like an actor like Denzel Washington, who's done so many roles on playing civil rights leaders and different things, and then I'm highlighting it specifically because it's Black History Month, and he played a role of Malcolm X, and he's played many other roles and done many other things, and and the fact that even just him being at the level that he's at his career, but understanding who God is and understanding that I was once young and what he sees and his observation is that more young people should be more open to posting about their actual faith and posting and don't be ashamed of who you are and what you're accepted. So I definitely can agree with a lot of things you said, and there is a gap in the church. I've noticed as well for millennials, and I think it's key for us, to be involved and to stay involved. But the other part of it too is my understanding is that when it pertains to churches, religious places of worship, that there has to be things in place that can assist and provide that structure and training from youth to millennial to the different stages, of Christianity, of life and education and spiritual growth. And I think it's not just young people that have to be that need to learn to be unashamed of religion and as it pertains to social media, but also too sometimes I can honestly say. And this is just, host Chrissy Renee doing what she do best and just putting it out there. Churches can't be afraid of social media and using it in the right way. Because for those in the younger generation, if you know that's a tool that's out there that's being used, find a way to use it to your advantage and spread the word, spread the message, and reach out to those individuals so they don't feel as ashamed because they see that the place of worship that they go to every Sunday or every Wednesday for Bible study is actually on social media and pushing that positivity image too. And so social media can be connected in many different ways. And so Beast Mode Mindsets has an online page, and you guys can always tune in and connect in positivity. We post motivational things. Like I said, we are family here. And yes, God is in faith is the center and focus of everything we do, but also too, we are made up of people and different mindsets, and life happens, and so many things are going on. And positivity comes in many different forms. I think I like the fact that you said Christian rap because that's something that I love. Like I love Christian rap. I love the message behind it. I love different types of music, especially classical, which many might not know, which is my favorite because it helps me unwind. But I love to see a mixture of music. I love to see poetry. I love to see things come together. So, Warren, I really do appreciate that perspective. So, Warren, let me ask you this, and this is, and I want to talk to something. So, I'm pulling through the social media because it's such a big and powerful tool, and a lot of times soon things are put out there, they're there, and even people can take them down. But by the time you take it down nowadays, things are screenshotted, sent, saved, downloaded, and so there's nothing you can really put out anymore that you can't take back, and you have to speak to it. So there was a Christian pastor last year, and I want to tell you something that was said that was highlighted in the form of a tweet as well. And he said, majority of millennials don't have a Christian worldview, and society is on the verge of having a generation that has completely lost the knowledge of God. As a millennial, as a young man who works in corporate America and does so many things and balances that as with being a father and other things that you balance, how do you feel about that? How do you feel that majority of the millennials don't have that Christian worldview, or do you think that maybe in some ways, that's not necessarily true, and maybe sometimes us as millennials or people in general, we're just misunderstood?
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. As a generation, we are misunderstood. And, for a pastor to talk like that, to just talk down on people or something that he doesn't understand, it just shows me that he's still living from the traditional sense of the 19th century. See, we are entering into the 20th century, and what a lot of people have to understand is things change 24/7. Everything changes. Every single thing changes. Even people, the way we live, the way we eat, the way we sleep, everything changes 10, 20, 15 years from now. Even 20 years from now, we're not going to be driving the same cars. Everything is going to be so logical and technology. And it's very easy to get. I mean, I understand where he comes from with that. I'm not trying to say that there's nothing wrong with with the way he expresses himself, because that's
Right.
just the way that he feels. So, within a Christian mentality, it's okay. I accept that and I forgive him for it. But at the end of the day, what he lacks is an understanding of what's going on. And actually, Crystal and I were actually talking about this the other day, where there's a lack of knowledge, people will perish. Like there's no vision. This man doesn't understand, as a millennium growing up in this generation, where you do have the people who are very religious, and you do have the people that come from the 19th century who are mixed with the people who come from.
Hello, Warren. So I think we lost Warren for a second. He may be back on with us. But Quanda.
Yes.
So let me ask you this, just to kind of pick up where you were listening to what Warren was replying to and what he was saying. And we'll give him a chance to finish back up once he gets back on with us. But how do you feel?
Well, don't get me wrong, tradition, we need some traditional values that were, taught back in the day. Some stuff that was taught back in the day we do need, but realizing we can't do like grandma did and, great grandma did. We can't do that now for this generation, because the generation coming behind us, it's, the generation coming, behind us is not looking. We just can't do it. And there's really no way, other way to say it, because us millennials, some things that mama and them used to do, we do. But for my kids, I can't do what mama and them do. So we have to do something different to reach out to our kids, because by me being a youth advisor and talking to some kids, they don't see church like we see church. So to speak, if you understand what I'm saying, like, for us to reach them, we're gonna have to actually go on their level and, do new things, be creative, because if we don't change up the way we, not necessarily say change up the way we worship, but if we don't do something to reach out to our younger generation, we're going to lose them. Period. Point blank.
Yeah. I mean, I can completely agree. Warren was saying something, and Warren was saying something before he cut out, and me and him definitely had a conversation just the other day, just talking about having. Without a lack of knowledge, knowledge is the key to many different things. And knowledge comes in many different forms, many different ages, and we have to remember, as Christians, and even even as we wear the hats of being a pastor, minister, and other roles of the church, that we have to remain open and humble. And it's my understanding too, and with the culture of church and different denominations and how it pertains to just life in different regions,
right.
What he said, that may be very true for where he's at, and that's okay. And we understand that too, and that's fine, because we're accepting of all opinions. And at the end of the day, it's really about what can we do to help that person or help someone get back on. So I highlighted something. One second. Okay. So yes, I highlighted something just the other day. Well, not the other day. It's probably a few weeks ago. Just in conversation with another millennial or whatnot, and my understanding and of them as a person is they said something that some people miss. They think they felt like they were being categorized as a millennial, just as a young adult person. It's like, but I'm so much more. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. I'm somebody's daughter. I'm a grown up. I pay grown up bills. So, millennials to them sometimes made it feel like just another category, another hat to wear, and being put aside and not really treated as a person, but just someone else that fits inside of this category. And their thing was, even outside of it, they're like, people assume because of my age or this or that, when I go to church, it's like they said, I really just want to hear God. I really just want to hear the word. And
exactly.
I don't want the I don't want all the extra stuff sometimes. I just want somebody to go and teach me. And I think there is a true hunger, not just in millennials, but in the younger generation and some of the older generation that may have spiritual starved, and I'll say it that way, because there's that appetite and hunger for knowledge and to grow. And so what happens with the millennial generation is I've been getting it this way for so long and growing up in the church or being around certain things that in my adult years I look for different ways in which I can get the same things or get the same feelings without necessarily being at church. And then also, too, some things can have changed up with churches and with changed up with the world, but it also affects the churches, how jobs are ran and how things are done as far as, how jobs are done and how things are ran as far as it used to be Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Millennials, a lot of millennials working now, we work second shift, we work third shift, we're balancing families, we work Sundays. Companies don't really just close down on Sundays anymore. Yeah, they may say they, observe a holiday or a religion or something, but at the same time, too, that's not how it goes. And I think Warren is back with us. So, Warren, did you want to finish up with what you were saying as you were talking about that specific message? Hello? All right, so I'm not sure. I thought Warren was back. I thought Warren was back on with us. Yeah, so it's really important as we transition forward to just, make sure that we are, taking time to listen to others, be there for others, and share the message of Christ and do what it is that we're actually supposed to do, regardless of the fact of whether it's millennial or not. Embrace all opinions, and for those that may not understand or there may be age gaps, have those necessary conversations just like we're doing tonight. Come up with solutions, come up with things that can help you where you're at, and understand that social media, just as well as other things in the world, can be used as positive tools to influence not just the youth, but many different people and different generations, and spreading the word and positivity and message of God and Christ. So always be open to share a testimony. That's the way I personally feel. And so, Kwanda, right quick, I am going to, I just want you to, I know Warren, I don't think he able to get back with us tonight. So what we'll do is next time we have Millennial Speak, we'll get Warren back in with us. And so we're definitely going to continue this out for part 2, have you guys come back and have and invite some more young adults, and we'll talk about some more topics. And so at least once once a month we'll do a millennial speak show, and so it'll just be a chat session, just chatting about different things as it pertains to social media, millennials, how we feel, and just putting that message out there, but painting it in the positive and the right way. So it's education and giving knowledge, and giving a perception of how things can possibly be done, but also too looking for ways to come up with solutions. We understand what it is about the ones of those that don't actually have that knowledge or that understanding, and those that some people there are lost souls, and that don't mean that we're perfect and everybody has the answers for everyone. But there, I am 1,000% sure that your life is connected to someone else's life is connected to yours. And so the more you share and the more you walk in your purpose and destiny, operate in beast mode mindset of faith, that you're going to actually tap into that. So, Quanda, I just want to thank you once again for being on with us tonight. Warren, I'm not sure if he's able to get back on, but I want to thank him so much for just sharing and highlighting on what it was. And I know he has something awesome, amazing to finish out with us. And so you guys will be back, and we'll do a part two. We'll do a part two next month, and we'll chat it up and bring some more millennials on, and we'll continue out this conversation and highlight the different topics. We'll be talking about relationships sometimes and how it pertains to faith, how it is to be married and keeping God first, but also to dating and keeping God first. And, these are mindsets. Appreciate everyone on the network, and I'm glad to be back with you guys once again on Wednesday nights at 9. And so what we're about to do is we're going to sign off tonight. Tonight was just a short show. We're getting back in the swing of things. And so next week we'll be back on for our full hour of gospel rap artist G Bless, who is the creator of the song that we're about to end out the show with. You guys know how we do it. Is, Beast Mode Mindsets all the way, Motivation by G Bless, Christian rap. It's a hype session, so if you're at home or wherever you're at, turn the volume up, get hyped with us, and, that's all. And thank you once again, and I'll see you guys next week.
I'm about that work. 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 Let's go. Not this time, I ain't giving up. No, yeah. Not this time, I ain't giving up. No, yeah. Not this time, I ain't giving up. No, yeah. Not this time, I ain't giving up. No, yeah. Get about my way. Better get about my way. Get about my way. Better get about my way. Get about my way. Better get about my way. Get about my way. Better get about my way. What up? What's happening? Okay. What's happening? 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 Let's go. This is pure motivation. Tell me why you waiting. Tell me why you waiting. Tell me what you waiting on. God, this is pure motivation. Tell me why you waiting. Tell me why you waiting. Tell me what you waiting on. Everything in life I'ma go hard with it. 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 Push myself to the limit, no holding back. 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 Hands in the air, yeah, this is my moment. Hands in the air, yeah, this is my moment. Hands in the air, yeah, this is my moment. Hands in the air, yeah, this is my moment. Do damage, we do it, let's go. You can 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 do it, let's go. You are Victoria, I am Victoria. 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 Let's go, God. This is pure motivation. Tell me why you waiting. Tell me why you waiting. Tell me what you waiting on. God, this is pure motivation. Tell me why you waiting. Tell me why you waiting. Tell me what you waiting on. Do it, you can do it. No excuses, no more losing. Who you fooling? Keep pursuing. I can see it, I can see it. See it, no drama. I don't need it, I don't need it. This that hard work season. This that hard work season. This paid for a reason. This paid for a reason. Yeah, paid for a reason. This paid for a reason. Blood, sweat, and tears and praying I said it. Blood, sweat, and tears and praying I said it. Almost at the finish, I can smell it, I can smell it. Almost at the finish, I can smell it, I can smell it. Sacrifice made, you can make it, you can make it. Sacrifice made, you can make it, you can make it. Confidence is all you need. Confidence is all